the same Norberto Santana who had that wonderful thing to say about you. Do you recall what he wrote when you left? He said, Mainero was brash and often walked into fights without understanding their implications for him or Morlock. And then it goes on to say, Mainero didn't exactly like the push and pull or fisticuffs of politics. It was a far cry from being a law school professor in charge of students who couldn't exactly punch back when the professor took them down a notch. At the county, everybody punches back. And Morlock said that there are certain stresses that come with this job that he didn't feel like dealing with anymore. He's sort of an academic, sincere, almost childlike kind of guy. And then you're quoted as saying, I thought it was about time to go back to what I love doing. And so that's, now you don't know if you want to leave what you love doing again. But have you ever thought back, first of all, are those characterizations fair? And is that what you'd be getting yourself into again?
I think it is probably true that I do not like the push and pull of politics, which in my view has become significantly coarser since that time.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any way to see it as anything but that. I think the Trump effect particularly has been to coarsen political discussion.
Uh-huh.
I think that certainly is one of the issues that weighs on me. Do I really want to deal with any of that nonsense? And then I sit there and I see another person killed in the jail. And I see all these people who are, relatives of the victims in the Decry shooting, sitting there for years with no idea how that's going to resolve. And then I see victims of those other folks whose cases got dropped or reduced or whatever, and how that must affect them. I think, there is a better way. There really is a better way, and that is to be a straight shooter. And I think, as Norberto referred to it, on your show about a month ago or 2 months ago or whenever it was, that, I'm kind of by the book, all right? I recognize that I'm not DA first, if I were to be DA. I'm a lawyer first, and as a lawyer, I am subject to, in California, the California Rules of Professional Conduct, which recently adopted rules for prosecutorial misconduct. In fact, after the Duke lacrosse matter, within a year or two after that, the state bar had a bar exam question on prosecutorial misconduct, and they've had at least one, maybe two since. So it matters to the state bar, and therefore it should matter to us as attorneys, whether we're a prosecutor or any other kind. We have to stay within the ethical boundaries. And that hasn't happened here. And I found it shocking to read this Court of Appeal opinion and hear a 20-year assistant district attorney say that he was unfamiliar with cases I teach in my classroom that are foundational cases in terms of criminal procedure. And to say that, well, no, we don't give training on these things. Well, why not? That seems to me to be basic.
Is there anything else, Mario, before we wrap it up here, that you wanted? Is there anything there were a number? I had a number of questions, we never got to them. But was there anything that you really wanted to talk about that you can talk about it right now?
I am not particularly in love with politics. I am in love with policy and with trying to make things better through policy. And whether I run or not isn't the issue. What is can we force a conversation about how to fix things from a policy point of view? That's not going to get done in a mountain of attack pieces from both Mr. Rackauckas and Mr. Spitzer. That just isn't. I would be delighted to sit back if these guys would do that, but the problem is, I don't hold that much hope at all that they're going to do that.
Would you like to see another, if you decide not to do it, somebody else step forward? There's got to be some other people out there.
I think there are. I think somebody like former President of Orange County Common Cause Bill Mitchell would be wonderful as a possibility. He and Shirley
Who's been a guest on this show. And,
He and Shirley Grindle and I, put together the Ethics Commission proposal that passed last June of 2016, and that Todd Spitzer, helped on as well. So there are people. I mean, we have a large legal community. I suppose the difference is that as kind of an academic, I'm pretty currently familiar with the law and with the ethics and the kinds of things that you have to do. And also I have the county experience, as you alluded to have some idea of how the county works generally.
Okay. Mario, great to have you on. Thanks so much.
No, thank you, Rick. Thank you very much.
Yep.